people across Derbyshire and East Staffordshire in many ways for, whether it's trick-or-treating or it's a horror film, it might be a couple of folk flicking through a scary story. Marking the spooktacular day for us is Jack Tymon. He's at a bookshop in Belper. Morning, Jack.
Morning, Twiggy.
Played that
If there's
earlier.
something strange in your neighbourhood,
Yeah.
who are you going to call? Jack Tymon. I think that is always the best case to do. If there's something odd going on around Derbyshire or East Staffordshire, I'm going to be there to sniff it out. And we do love a scary story at this time of the year, don't we? I think there's something a little bit more spine-tingling about it than just watching a horror film, which, of course, always makes you jump and scream out loud. But I think with a scary story, whether it's told round a campfire or maybe it's just you at home with a good book curled up, maybe with just one lamp next to you, it really enhances and heightens the amount of scariness that could be received through those pages. And I've come to the only place, really, in Derbyshire and East Staffordshire that you could learn about scary stories, and that is, of course, a bookshop. I'm outside Dormouse Books in Belper, but this isn't just any ordinary bookshop. It's a very old bookshop. Well, Dormouse Books has actually only been open this year, but the building itself, I mean, I'm just looking at the walls now. Big, thick stone, lots of windows, tiny windows actually up at the top. It's been here for hundreds of years, so I wonder what these walls could tell us on any Halloween day. Now, of course, it is Halloween, Twiggy. I'm going to go into an old building. You never know what you might find lurking in the dark corners. So I have been getting a little bit of advice about what I should do if I do come across a ghost on this Halloween morning. So I've been talking to a ghost hunter and an author. He's called Adrian Finney. He's been explaining to me how ghosts can emerge, especially at Halloween.
Sometimes it might just be a feeling on the back of your neck, like the hairs on the back of your neck will stand up and you get this feeling of being watched. Sometimes things might happen. There's a boating lake we walk around with quite a dark past, and there, when we've got our phone cameras out, we've ended up getting like weird pictures of this misty figure. I thought it would be a fun way to sort of fill 5 minutes when I did my first ghost walk up there, and suddenly everybody's getting pictures, and he's thinking, right, okay, this is getting a bit weird now.
They don't want to do harm, do they? They're not there to be mean to me.
A lot of ghosts are actually quite benevolent. They're quite helpful and friendly almost. There's one in a local theatre to me, and people with stage fright see this ghost appear, and she puts the hand on their arms and they suddenly feel calm that they can go on and perform. So this idea that ghosts are scary and out to cause harm, I think is mostly wrong, but not entirely.
If one appeared in front of me, is there a best practice of what to do? Do I just say, hello, Mr. or Mrs. Ghost, and I'm Jack from Radio Derby? Do I announce myself to them?
I think that would be a good idea, just to acknowledge that they're there and that you can see them. Because I think with some hauntings, it seems that the ghosts they want to be remembered and recognised, and I think there must be some frustration in that. Imagine if you're trapped in a place for hundreds of years, and finally you come across somebody who can see you, and their first reaction is to run away screaming.
And imagine if you were trapped in somewhere that perhaps wasn't that pleasant. Imagine if you were the ghost of a toilet. I mean,
yeah, that wouldn't be pleasant at all, no.
I could think of not many other worse places to be trapped for eternity, or at least a couple of 100 years.
Definitely.
There's no special tools or equipment that I'd need, is there?
There's some ghost hunting groups who give all of this like equipment that they tell you to go and take with you. Personally, I've seen a lot of that used quite badly. There's these detectors that they say find ghosts which detect electromagnetic radiation. The only problem is if you've got a phone or anything electronic in your pockets, you end up reading what you've got in your pockets rather than anything potentially supernatural.
Yeah, so it's just picking up Bluetooth signals rather than anything else.
Exactly, yeah. Or I once went with some ghost hunters, it was just north of Chesterfield, and they were running up and down with these things and they were chasing a power line, and I'm like, oh...
Interesting.
So, yeah, I think you've got to be careful with things like that and make sure that if you've got somebody there with you who's using them, they know how to use them properly.
Oh, yes, Jack. You're investigating today. Scariest movie in the news today. They're saying The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Exorcist? Quite an old film, actually, 1973.
Is that the one with the head turning
Yeah.
360 like an owl
Yeah,
and
horrible.
projectile vomiting?
Horrible. Yeah,
yes.
horrible. And clown films for me, you see. Clowns don't do it for me. Because
no.
you see, what a clown does, a clown lulls you into a false sense of security. What it does, right, a clown's got big, daft, silly shoes, which make you smile. And you start smiling, don't you? They then
of course.
enter in a car where the doors blow off, and you start laughing. And that's when their ulterior motive begins. Have you seen the film, It?
No, and for love nor money could anyone convince me to watch that film, Twiggy. The big scary clown with the white makeup and the sinister red grin. No, thank you. No. I'd rather not watch anything on telly than watch that.
Yeah. You know what I'm watching tonight?
I've got no idea.
Only Fools and Horses and the Antiques Road Trip. Brilliant.
The sound of where we live.
Breakfast with Andy Twigge.
BBC Radio Derby.
I get scared at absolutely everything. I'm not very good when it comes to things like that. Oh, I do. Right, time. It's 22 minutes past 7.